This event is brought to you by World Pro Racing, the Malta Motorsport Federation, GMR Entertainment, WJ England & Son, Melita, Media Looks, Restream.io, Gaming Malta, VisitMalta.com, and TVM Sport. This stream is powered by Melita, using Melita Gigapower Internet. World Pro Racing, where sim racing becomes real.
For only €5 a month, experience every high-definition moment on your TV, tablet, phone or PC. Great teams, great moments, and so much more. TSN from Melita is your ticket to stay in the game. Visit melita.com/sports.
Senna was a god. No one could even dream to follow him.
I'm from a very humble background.
The role of women at that time were really difficult.
This is so dangerous. You are risking not only your life, but also my life.
Wish your Wi-Fi network would just work in any room? Our new Stellar Wi-Fi is AI assisted to give you the smoothest, fastest possible Wi-Fi throughout your home. Stellar Wi-Fi, assisted by AI, exclusive to Melita. Find out more in-store or online.
World Pro Racing, where sim racing becomes real.
Hi, I'm Adrian Figallo. I'm one of the directors of World Pro Racing. I'm also the race director for all the races from World Pro Racing, as most of you maybe know. I'm here today to make a call for anybody out there that would like obviously to be part of our team, our stewarding team at World Pro Racing. You'll be obviously taking the experience with us, with myself and obviously my colleague and the director of World Pro Racing, also George, who's also the chief steward. We're both licensed stewards, so we're bringing the experience you get from real motorsport into esports. So all the people that will join the team, obviously enough, they'll be shadowing us during our races and giving them all the tips necessary to take various decisions. When it comes to motorsport, it depends what you're looking at. If you're having a formula race, it's one set of rules, and obviously you need to look at incidents and particular situations in one way. If it's a GT3 race, you need to look at rules in another way. So you'll be taking all this experience with us by shadowing with us, and then also being with us during the races to take any final decisions and discussions about particular situations together, so that we give the right penalties. That's very important, if need be, for that particular situation. Stewards are there during a race to have a fair playing field, to look that there is a fair playing field for all the drivers on track. So sometimes it's not an easy job to do, because obviously enough you need to take certain decisions against drivers, but it's important that from your side you do it in the right manner, balanced way, and obviously enough giving the right decision, giving the right penalties, and obviously protecting other drivers from any particular bad situation created by a third driver in that situation, so that it's fair on everybody. It's not an easy job, as I already said, but definitely fun, and obviously enough it's something that makes you grow. I take it from my personal experience myself. Obviously enough, it started from passion to motorsport, then obviously enough got more involved into motorsport, got into general motorsport, because obviously I was at one time just going through one motorsport myself, but then got into general motorsport, and obviously enough got into race direction and also stewarding. This took me various places outside the island of Malta to shadow race directors, to be with foreign stewards, and also to be with the biggest pool of stewards from across the globe, even at a FIA level, and even learning there and obviously sharing with us these experiences that they go through the year, from which obviously enough we always learn. Being a steward, it's a learning curve. Don't give up on that. Some people say, oh, because it's this, because it's that. Anything that you do in life is not easy. Stewarding, being with us, next to us, will pass on our experience to you, and obviously enough that will make you feel much better, and obviously will also give you the leeway to look at particular situations yourself and give your own decisions. And obviously enough we tip you if you're wrong, or obviously enough we tell you, listen, yes, you're going you're taking the right path to take the final decision on that particular situation. So if you're away from Malta, across the globe, you can join us. Still, we can do this remotely. You can obviously join us on discord.worldproracing.com. If you're locals here in Malta, that could be also a physical visit to our place here, to our obviously adjudication room, where you'll be sitting with us and going through the races with us, and obviously learning there with us. So locals and foreigners, take this opportunity. What you will learn, you can also then try to take it also into real life. So join us on Discord or all our social media, being it Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Get in touch with us from there, and obviously enough, we'll tell you how you can join our stewarding and obviously race direction team. Thanks for watching.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to World Pro Racing. My name's Alex Goldschmidt, and a warm welcome to all our viewers on esports television, Malta's TVM Sport Channel, motorsport.tv, and of course, all the relevant World Pro Racing live streams on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. Of course, it's been a long wait, but finally we've got here in 2021 because this is the first Gran Turismo Sport race of the season in association with the Malta Motorsport Federation. Obviously, you've just heard a lot of talking points from our very own race director, who is FIA accredited in his own right, Adrian Figalo. If you do want to get involved and find out what it takes to become a race steward or even a race director, hit us up on all our social medias at World Pro Racing. You can also go to the contact us page on worldproracing.com for further information and also to find out a bit more about the team and also the events we've got coming up. Firstly, we can't thank our partners and sponsors who without which we would not be here today. Gaming Malta, the stream being powered by Melita, Thrustmaster, GT Omega, HyperX, where we're all gamers, and of course AMD. Now, this evening, it is a Group 3 extravaganza. It is Americana power all the way through. It is the fantastic Callaway Corvette that we will have all the way through this evening's proceedings. Currently, at the moment, we are about halfway through the free practice session, 15 minutes in total. 15 minutes qualifying session, and then we will have a 15-lap race around this fantastic 17-turn circuit, just over 5 kilometers in length on the Gran Turismo Sport platform. We have had to open it up to invitational entries this evening, but we are now heading trackside to into France. So let's head on down there and see what is occurring. So the drivers are looking to do their absolute utmost in the next 8 or so 7 minutes of this session. There's Rique in the number 37 Corvette. So we've got Luke, we've got JDM Racer, Zelino, Dowlers, Dielpau, Ilwindi, and FLV as the 8 drivers. But Rique has set the fastest lap of anybody at 1 minute 52.190 around this fantastic circuit. A lot of twists and turns, a lot of changeable camber. There's you've got high-speed sweepers all the way through to low-speed hairpins, and there's also moments on this track where the drivers may have to brake whilst turning or shortly after turning their vehicle. So it gives it a bit more like a special stage on a tarmac rally, say like say at the Alsace Rally Germany, or quite a few other rallies, including obviously Rally Monza, which is normally held later on in the year. Excuse me there, frog in the throat. So it's a total of 5.4 kilometers. That's just under 3.4 miles, as there is Rique in the 37 Corvette. Obviously, this does have a balance of performance in mind. So the drivers are limited. It is equal peggings for all the drivers, so it is about the skill set of the individuals. Now, one of the biggest things is, of course, for those that are already aware of the events that we've held previously here on World Pro Racing, that's in late October 2021. The second ever running of the FIA Motorsport Games will take place, and in association with the Malta Motorsport Federation, we will hold a qualifying championship for the Maltese representative to represent Malta at the FIA Motorsport Games later on this year. So at the moment, it is just invitational entries open for the casual race, but for the championships itself on World Pro Racing, it will be for Maltese residents only. So there's Luke TW in the number 77 Corvette, and is trying to do his level best. He's currently P2 at the moment, ahead of JDM Racer in 3rd place. Zelino in in 4th place, currently rounds out the top 4 ahead of Dowlers 88, Dielpau, Ilwindi, and FLV. But no one at the moment, with the last 4 minutes of the session still getting pretty much to the business end of this before we go into qualification. And there's Dialander in the number 315, running with the Liquid Molly livery there, and also has got got some Tag Heuer sponsorship apparently, well, virtually speaking there. You can just see as we now go on board with Rike inside the inner sanctum where the driver really plies their trade. So we're going to go into this right-hand hairpin. It's a bit reminiscent of Dunlop at the Nürburgring. You can just see how much correction there is whilst trying to put down the power. Now up into 5th gear, pushing over 220 kilometers an hour. Now down into the left handle, which then takes us onto a tight hairpin, reminiscent of a reverse turn 11 at Suzuka. Now up from 2nd into 3rd, now up to 4th. Now going into the next left-hander, you can see that the car's wanting to understeer a little bit going through this next spot. Now down the dip. And it looks like that's a little bit of a cool down for Rike as Luke TW in the number 77 to do his level best. He's about to come across the line very, very shortly as there's Dylan Dart in the 315 just up ahead. And does Luke TW improve? Well, on that particular occasion, not quite. As we are rapidly getting to the end of the session, you can just see the amount of undulations here at the Alsace circuit. So, that was close for comfort between Dylan Dar and also Luke TW there, as they are still going side by side. That's effectively through what I would call turn 2, and that was very, very up close and personal for the pair of them. However, it's now become a three-way scrap. This is Rike in the middle of it all, trying to do his level best to try and get past, but obviously that's going to help him in terms of lap time in this session, but he's still fastest of anybody by just over 3.6 tenths of a second. You can just see how hard they're pushing these cars. And there is sunshine up above. So Diopal has gone up into P6 as Dylander goes off track. That's not what you want there, so there will be a yellow flag situation just on that particular part of the circuit. Enrique now coming towards the other half of it. So it's the Callaway C7R, which has now been replaced by the C8, which is mid-engined rear-wheel drive as opposed to the very, very long snout on this slice of Americana, the Corvette C7. So we're fast approaching the end of the session. And it is Enrique from Luke TW, JDM Racer, Zelino, Diopal, Ilwindi, FLV, and Dylander rounding out the top 8. And so just a minute remaining in this session. And Enrique still leading the timesheets. JDM Racer crosses the line, doesn't improve on that particular occasion. So the drivers will have another hot lap in this session. Zelina goes P4, 1.8, nearly 1.8 seconds off of Enrique, as Diopal stays in the pits for the moment. So the drivers still pushing like crazy. These cars are not meant to be wrestled with, and that is the end of the session. So Enrique looks to be on top pegging for this first ever casual race for Gran Turismo Sport in association with the Malta Motorsport Federation. So some events that are coming up, quite a few. You may have already seen it on our social media, so don't forget to follow us if you're watching on the official World Pro Racing YouTube channel. Why not hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and also hit the notification bell. You'll also get apprised of every single event that we've got coming up. So after this evening's race, next Tuesday we have the 90 Minutes of Imola Ferrari Evo Challenge, which still has quite a few spots available. Last time I checked it was around about 14, but that could be, we'll make that that is still 14 spots available. We then have the S2000, the Muse S2000 at Willow Springs a week from today. And then we have the Triple Challenge rescheduled for the 13th of March. It is on the Assetto Corsa Competizione platform. It starts at 5:30 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. That's 6:30 p.m. Central European Time. It is completely full out, so fully booked. 3 different events, and they're all on the Assetto Corsa Competizione platform. They're all going to be on 3 different cars. So Bentley, Aston Martin, McLaren on each one. And then also we have the US Formula 2000 series starting on Wednesday, the 17th of March, a 5-round calendar, 5 successive weeks, and it's going to be rather interesting. Single seaters back here on World Pro Racing, and it's looking rather tantalizing. So very shortly, we'll hopefully be going back to the circuits here very shortly. But there is a slight issue on the server at the moment. We're just in the process of fixing that. So who are you rooting for tonight, those of you who are watching out there? If you know their gamer tags and if you know who they are, please let us know on the relevant social media channels, the live streams and everything else where this is actually being broadcasted. So plenty still to come here from World Pro Racing. Endurance racing is going to be happening. More stuff. Obviously, I mentioned about Gran Turismo. And it is a Gran Turismo Sport issue that we are trying to resolve at the moment. So please bear with us. Now, for those wondering about the USF 2000 series, now the application process is still open until March the 10th, 2021. We still have 3 spots remaining. So the calendar, there is a pre-season race on the 10th of March at Silverstone. Adria will host round 2 on the 17th. And then it's Indianapolis on the 24th of March. Portimao in Portugal, which is the 31st of March. And then we go into April for Watkins Glen on the 7th of April. And the season finale will be at Alton Park on the 14th of April. Points will be given for fastest lap, points for starting the race, consistency, how many laps you've led, and also pole position. There are also a 1 to, so it's basically from 18 to 1 is the scoring on the actual races themselves, and that will be from that will be from P1 all the way down to P13. There is actually a penalty for not showing for a race, and that's a minus 10 points on your championship score. So everyone will have to be on their best behaviour, and if they've committed to the season, they're going to need to make sure that they are there for every single race. It will be a 15-minute practice session, a 15-minute qualifying session, and then a flat-out, full throttle, full send, 30-minute race on each of the circuits that we'll be taking part in. I know for a fact that from Adria, it will be live streamed here directly on World Pro Racing, and it's we're just please bear with us with this. We are hoping to get everything resolved very shortly. As I have mentioned, it is a Gran Turismo Sport issue, so we are trying to resolve it so we can get qualifying underway here on World Pro Racing. Once again, a big thank you to all our partners, our sponsors, also for you all out there continuing to support World Pro Racing, as we have been we've had the 2nd season of the World Pro Racing Sprint Series now completed, and also it's just really wonderful how sim racing in these difficult times has brought everybody together, and there is a lot still to come here on World Pro Racing. For those wondering about what the format will be for the Triple Challenge, now this is obviously going to help tell our drivers all of this, because they'll have already seen it. There's quite a few familiar names, such as Alex Johnston, Gergely Kunsabo, Jan-Niklas Ebrich, Kestina Bayer, Sheldon Muscat, Samuel Foch, amongst other people, Cornelius Yaziunas, Marcus Littlewood, Nathan Thomas. So those wondering about the Triple Challenge, it's going to be now this is for all. Now, for those wondering about Assetto Corsa Competizione, Kuno Simulazione and 505 Games dropped the British GT DLC on February 10th, which was just over 2 weeks ago. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using all 3 tracks. So the first one, we'll be using Alton Park, we'll be using Donington Park, and we'll also be using the Snetterton 300. So we're going to have the Bentley being used on the first race, the Aston Martin on the second race, and then the McLaren on race number 3. So the first free practice gets underway at 18:30 Central European time. 18:45 on is for qualifying, and then a 30-minute race. There will be a 10-minute pit window in each of these races. Refueling is required, and there is a 10-minute pit stop window. For the Aston Martin race, it will be 8 p.m. Central European time is free practice. 8:15 Central European time is qualifying, and then the second race gets underway just after 8:30 Central European time. And then the McLaren, it will be another 15-minute practice session at 9:30 Central European time. So there will be a bit of a breather between each session for the drivers, just to sort of get a bit of respite, get some hydration, have a little bit of chill out, chat with their mates and whatever. And then the final race gets underway with the McLarens on at 2200 Central European time. That's 10 p.m. Central European time, or 2100 over here in the UK, or as us Brits like to call it, 9 p.m. So a lot happening there. For those wondering about the USF 2000 series, each evening that will be the usual format. So it will kickstart things off at 8:30 p.m. every Wednesday for 5 weeks, from the 17th of March 2021 all the way through to the 14th of April. So the drivers will be running on the R Factor 2 platform. So there are still 3 spaces available. So please, if you have R Factor 2, you want to get involved with some good old-fashioned wheel-to-wheel racing on single-seaters, then come and join us if you've got the opportunity to do so on the USF 2000 series. So, yeah, I've been looking forward to hearing these Corvettes run rings around this Alsace circuit. Just getting a notification on what's happening at the moment, so please bear with us on this delay. We can only apologise about it. We're now going to go for a short commercial break, and we'll be back in just a couple of moments' time.
This event is brought to you by World Pro Racing, the Malta Motorsport Federation, GR Entertainment, WJ England & Son, Melita, Media Looks, Restream.io, Gaming Malta, VisitMalta.com, and TVM Sport. This stream is powered by Melita, using Melita Gigapower Internet. World Pro Racing, where sim racing becomes real.
For only €5 a month, experience every high-definition moment on your TV, tablet, phone or PC. Great teams, great moments, and so much more. TSN from Melita is your ticket to stay in the game. Visit melita.com/sports.
Senna was a god. No one could even dream to follow him.
I'm from a very humble background.
The role of women at that time were really difficult.
This is so dangerous. You are risking not only your life, but also my life.
World Pro Racing, where sim racing becomes real.
Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, due to the lack of game reliability of Gran Turismo Sports, which are aware of this problem and have never solved it, we have to cancel today's event as there are cars spinning in the pit lane automatically, which we have no control over, and thereby have to control the event. Our sincerest apologies. Obviously, this is a circumstance beyond our control. Thank you for tuning in. We will keep you apprised of when this event will be rescheduled according to our website. A big thank you once again to you all for watching on TVM Sport, Motorsport TV, Esports TV, and also a big thank you to our partners, Melita, Gaming Malta, Thrustmaster, GT Omega Racing, HyperX, and AMD.